Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Pedro here, and I'm coming to you from what I simply call heaven on earth, paradise. This is one of my favorite locations in northern Vancouver. It is known as Deep Cove, and I typically come over here about 2 or 3 times every single week to paddleboard, to kayak, to hike. And I like to spend a lot of time here just reflecting and thinking about my future and making plans and strategizing and just showing myself some mad love, So over the next few minutes that we actually have together, I'm here to share with you a very, very, very powerful message that will have a profound impact in the amount of energy that you are radiating from your being. And when you are able to radiate a very, very high level of energy, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to create a high level of success, a high level of health, and a high level of happiness, right? But before we begin, I want to share with you this beautiful, beautiful background that we have here and share with you exactly what I do when I come out over here. So typically I take a paddleboard from right down here, and I normally paddle all the way down the water. That is called Indian Arm, and it kind of curves to the left between the mountains. And I typically paddleboard out there for about 2 hours, and then I come back over here and I go to a nice vegan cafe that's in the neighborhood. I grab a meal, then I typically go hiking up the mountains until I get to the top. Over there, a place called Quarry Rock, and I normally hang out there for another couple of hours just enjoying the view, and then I come back down. So that typically takes me about 4 hours, an afternoon of paddleboarding and hiking. And it takes a lot of energy to actually do that. But the thing is that I have 200%, 300% amount of energy that I'm radiating from my physical being, from my mental being, and from my emotional being. So what I want to share with you here is how you can actually do the same, But before we get into that conversation about enhancing your energy, I think it's very, very important for me to rewind the tape. It's important for me to rewind the tape of my life and share with you where my energy was a long time ago, right? If you go back about 12, 13, 14 years ago, I was exactly, actually 12 years ago, I was exactly 28. Right now, I am 40 years young. At 28, I found myself in a very, very, very interesting situation, to say the least. I was overweight, number one. Number two, I was tired and lethargic, and my energy was at an all-time low, right? At an all-time low. And I looked like I was like 50 years old, right? So around the ages of 28, my dad looked at my graduation picture from university. I had just graduated from the College of Engineering. My dad looked at the picture and he said, "Hey son, you're going to end up exactly where I am," right? So my dad, at that time, he was in his 50s and he had been diagnosed with diabetes. So he was saying that I'm going to end up in the same place that he ended up in, because obviously from my picture, it showed that I was not taking good care of myself. Right? So I was able to see at the age of 28 that, in about 10, 15, 20 years from now, I'm going to be, I'm probably going to have some chronic degenerative disease, like diabetes, and I'm probably going to be overweight. And one of the biggest things that really, really, really scared me was that I'm going to have a lot of low energy. And I was already feeling that at 28, right? So at 28, I began to do some things, and I'm simply going to term everything that I was doing personal growth and development. I began to develop myself in every single area of my life. From the ages of 30 to 38, I was blessed to have had the unique opportunity to receive a divine intervention which enabled me to transform every single area of my life, including my physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual well-being. And as it pertains to the conversation that we're having here, I was able to actually discover how to tap into and unleash mega amounts of energy from my being. And this has actually inspired me to come over here and have a conversation with you and share with you some of the things that I learned, because on my journey towards the state that I'm in right now of peak energy, I discovered something that's very, very important. I discovered that the amount of energy that you have in your being is directly related to the amount of happiness that you experience in your life, right? It's directly related to the amount of health that you experience in your life. And it is directly related to the amount of success that you attract in your life. So let me just jump into that a little bit deeper so you can relate it into your own life. When we start talking about the subject of happiness, we start talking about two main things, right? Number one, we talk about living a life of purpose, right? Being mission and vision oriented, right? Having a specific goal, a specific endpoint, a specific lifestyle that you want to realize. You're here for a specific reason. Now, assuming that you have discovered your purpose, even if you haven't discovered your purpose, it's possible to discover your purpose, right? Assuming you have discovered your purpose, and now you decide that you want to go out and make a big impact in your own life, in your family's life, and in the world. You will discover very, very quickly that one of the barriers that you're going to experience is the amount of energy that you have, right? In order to fulfill your purpose at a very, very high level, you're going to need a significant amount of energy. You see, I was lucky in that I discovered my purpose about 7-8 years ago. And right now I'm fully living on purpose. I have a very, very clear vision to empower billions of souls universally to discover the inner divinity within them so that they can go out into the world and achieve a high level of happiness, health, and success. Now, if I'm going to realize that purpose, it is very, very crystal clear to me that I'm going to have to tap into insane levels of energy to drive me through all of the obstacles and barriers that I'm going to experience in this physical existence that we call Earth. So when you look at your own purpose, I want you to realize that one of the main things that you're definitely going to need is you're going to need a high level of energy, right? Now, the second area where energy impacts your happiness definitely has to do with what? It has to do with your relationships, right? And when we're talking about relationships, I'm going to divide it into two categories, right? The first category is the intimate relationship, right? Do you want to date someone that has got energy of 50%? Obviously not. And as a result, it's very easy to see that someone else will not want to date you if you have an energy of 50%. So that tells you that in order for you to attract, nurture, and develop a very, very high level of intimacy, it's extremely important that you ramp up your energy, you take up your energy to the next level. Because when you take up your energy to the next level, then you can bring a lot of passion, you can bring a lot of passion to that relationship, right? So that's number one. Number two, when we start looking at like social and business settings, right? In the social and business setting, you're going to attract friends that are in a similar energetic vibration as you. You're going to attract business partners. You're going to attract career opportunities that are in a similar energetic vibration as you, right? Therefore, when you raise your energy up, you will attract more higher quality friends who have a high level of energy, who are active, who are moving around doing things in the world. And these are the people that you want to interact with. You know, when it comes to the game of business, you're going to be attracting people and opportunities that are in alignment with the energy level that you're participating in. You see, if you got a very, very low amount of energy, not a lot of people are going to want to do business with you. Not a lot of people are going to want to hire you. Not a lot of people are going to want to be friends with you. I know myself, I do not keep any friends around me that are not energetic, right? That doesn't happen in my world. I don't do business with people that are not striving for greatness, that are not energetic. That doesn't happen in my world. So in this brief conversation, you can begin to see that energy impacts your happiness, right? It impacts, in terms of your happiness, it impacts your life purpose. You know what I'm saying? It impacts the type of relationships that you get into. The amount of energy that you radiate from your being impacts your health. It impacts your mental health. It impacts your emotional health. It impacts your spiritual health. And of course, it impacts your physical health. Right? When your energy is like super high, then obviously your health is definitely more vibrant and it is more vital. And finally, the energy that you're radiating from your being is definitely going to impact the amount of success that you experience in the world, right? This is a given, right? When you're going out to accomplish a certain goal, right? It could be a financial goal, it could be a career goal, right? You know, you can have the vision, you can have the plans, but in order to execute on those plans, you're definitely going to need a lot of energy every single day, every single day, every single day, to overcome all the barriers, to overcome all the obstacles, to overcome everything that's going to stand in between where you are and where you want to get to. So with that introduction, you can begin to see that energy is an extremely, extremely, extremely important component of you living a happy, healthy, and successful life. So myself, you know, like I said, I've had the unique privilege of really, really delving very, very deep in the arena of personal growth and development. And over the past 12 years, I have actually mastered this subject of creating peak levels of energy. And I'm going to share with you some ideas. I'm going to share with you some ideas which you can take immediately and run with, and they'll immediately transform your life. And the first idea that I want to have a conversation with you on is the idea of what I simply call energy vampires, energy vampires, energy vampires, energy vampires. Well, what is an energy vampire, Pedro? Right? When we think about a vampire, right? Maybe you've watched Count Dracula, right? You've watched movies about vampires. What is it that comes into your mind? You think about something sucking blood out of your neck, right? Sucking blood out of your neck. That's what vampires do. They suck the life out of the living so that they can stay alive. So when I'm talking about energy vampires, I'm talking about two main things. I'm talking about environments and I'm talking about people. I'm talking about environments and I'm talking about people, right? There's certain environments that you can place yourself in. There's certain environments that you can place yourself in that will suck the life out of you. And there's certain environments that you can place yourself in that will give you more life. That will give you more life. So very, very simply put, if you're in the ghetto, right? If you're living in the slums, well, that's going to suck the life out of you. You're going to lack motivation, you're going to lack initiative, you're going to lack inspiration. If you're at the nightclub all the time, if you're at the bar all the time, that's going to suck the energy out of you, right? However, if you're in an environment like this, right, this is a very, very, very prosperous environment. You know, I'm in nature, I'm in a beautiful place, there's some yachts over there, there's some rich people in the neighborhood. The air is fresh, you know what I'm saying? This environment is actually giving me a lot of energy. So when we're talking about energy vampires, we talk about the environments. That what people are familiar with are, what we call them, the certain people that suck the life out of you. Certain people that suck the life out of you. And to make this a very, very simple explanation, it is all of those negative-minded people, right? Anybody that is negative, when you go around in their presence, you're going to feel drained when you leave their presence. They're sucking the life out of you. They have a low energy. You come in with a high energy, and guess what happens? They suck the life out of you. On the flip side, when you place yourself in the presence of someone that is inspiring, someone that's motivational, someone that's got a high amount of energy, like just like me right now, when you listen to the conversation I'm having, the kind of words that I'm using, the energetic vibrations that I'm radiating, then what happens is that subconsciously you begin to absorb positive emotions, you begin to absorb positive energy, which actually lifts you up. So myself, on a day-to-day basis, I make sure that I'm always listening to certain groups of people who are very, very motivational, who are very, very inspiring, so that I can always raise up my energy, and I'm always staying away from what I call energy vampires. Now, with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, with that out of the way, I want to share with you some things that are very, very important, some things that I actually discovered, right? On your journey towards achieving peak levels of energy, there's two things that you want to pay close attention to. Two things that you want to pay close attention to. I'm going to begin by letting you know that every single day, every single week, every single month, during the whole duration of your life, there's a certain energy, there's a life force that comes into you, right? It comes into you, and it comes into you through like your breath, right? Every time you breathe in the life, right? And that life force is what actually keeps you functioning, it keeps you moving, it keeps you alive. So every single day you're receiving a certain amount of energy. You're receiving a certain amount of energy. Now, what happens is that most people have a low amount of energy because unconsciously and sometimes consciously, they are leaking out. They are leaking out, okay? They are leaking out like a bucket with a hole, right? A bucket with a hole kind of hold water, it leaks out. They are leaking out energy that is coming into them, right? So if you have a hole in your bucket, you're going to be leaking out energy continuously. That is why you may feel that you have a low amount of energy. So the first thing that we want to do when we're on a journey towards achieving peak levels of energy is we want to seal up the leaks, right? We want to stop the leaks. Because if you stop the leaks, you're going to be receiving energy from the universe, and at a bare minimum, you're going to conserve the energy that you already have. So that's the beginning, that's the first step. The next step is then to find out different ways to actually boost and enhance your energy. So it is your lucky day. It's your lucky day because I have discovered up to 60 ways people leak out energy from their system, right? And I have also discovered 23 unique, powerful and natural ways you can raise the energy in your system. Now, the information I'm sharing here with you is not information that I read from a book. I'm sharing with you information that I discovered based on my own experience, right? You see, first and foremost, I was an absolute expert at leaking energy using all of the 60 ways that I discovered. So over the past few weeks, I've been really intentional about writing down all of the different ways that I have leaked energy over the past 12 to 13 to 14 years. And out of that discovery, I created a way that you can find a lot of information that will help you stop these leakages. But before we actually get to that point, I want to share with you some of the different ways that you may be leaking energy on a day-to-day basis. Now, this notebook that I have right here, this is like my very special notebook. And in this notebook, I have written down the 60 ways that I used to leak out energy from my system. And I'm just going to share with you some of them so that you can begin to actually get some information from this video that I'm creating for you here. One of the main ways that I used to leak a significant amount of energy in my early 20s was what I will simply call self-sabotaging behaviors, engaging in what I consider to be vices. So I engaged in vices at a very high level. And what are some of the vices that you engage in, Pedro? It may be some of the vices that you're engaging in. I do not know. But I'm just gonna just read them out. I used to smoke a lot of cigarettes. From the ages of 18 to the ages of 28. Every single day, I was smoking some cigarettes. I used to drink a lot of alcohol, right? I had an alcohol problem. I was a certified alcoholic. From 18 to 28, I was literally drunk. I literally cannot remember those years. Those years are gone to me because I was drunk the whole time. I was smoking a lot of marijuana. Yeah, I was smoking a lot of marijuana. I was what you call a pothead. I always had a half an ounce of some good ganja in my right pocket, or occasionally in my left pocket. I used to engage in a lot of promiscuous sex. Well, what is promiscuous sex? It is random sex with literally every woman that I used to meet when I was out partying, right? So men do this, women do this. I did it at a very high level. And of course, I was eating terrible food. I was eating a lot of junk food, right? Those were in my university years. What I've just shared with you right there are what I consider to be vices, right? Vices, things that people do on a day-to-day basis because they don't want to deal with reality, right? So for myself, there was a certain reality that I did not want to deal with. There's a certain reality that I was actually hiding from, and I hid from this reality through drugs, sex, and alcohol. And around the ages of 28, when I discovered that my energy was very low, I immediately knew that that low energy was coming from some of the vices that I was engaging in at a very high level. So I want you to just go back and look at your own life and check, right? Just check if you are engaging in any of these vices. If you're engaging in any of these vices, I can guarantee you that you're leaking a significant amount of energy. And at this point in time, I'm not going to explain to you exactly how. Towards the end of this video, I'm going to reveal to you how you can get more intricate information on how you are leaking energy through these vices. I just want to bring up the subject. If you're engaged in any of these self-sabotaging, self-destructive vices, you're leaking out a significant amount of energy every single day. But hey, guess what? There's a lot of people that may not be engaged in these direct vices. So they may say, hey, Pedro, am I leaking energy in any other way? Absolutely, absolutely. The vices that I've shared here with you are just 1 to 5. I told you I discovered 60 different ways that we leak out energy, and maybe you may be leaking out energy in one of these 60 ways. So other than that, once you take out the vices, then now we want to start going inside our inner walls and discovering what is it that we're doing in our inner walls that may be causing us to feel tired, maybe causing us to feel lethargic, maybe causing us to feel exhausted. And if you investigate very, very closely, you'll discover there's some things that you may be doing in your life, such as maybe keeping a lot of secrets, right? You may be keeping a lot of secrets. Maybe you may be cheating. Maybe you may be lying. Maybe you may be living a double life, right? Maybe you may be fighting a lot, arguing a lot, gossiping a lot, right? These states of mind use a lot of energy. They use a lot of energy. And if you're engaged in these negative states of mind, you will notice that your energy is not at a 200%, it's not at a 300%, it's not at a 400%, right? So a lot of times when people think about increasing the energy, they think about what they can ingest from the external world, right? A quick fix, but you will never have a lot of energy until you fix some of the things that are going on in your inner world. And I want to name to you some more negative states of mind. Negativity, anger, unforgiveness, right? Indecision, pessimism, jealousy, envy, attachment. These are all negative states of mind. And these negative states of mind consume a significant amount of energy. Now you may say, hey Pedro, you know what? I don't have too many negative states of mind. But guess what? It's possible that you may have what I would consider negative habits, right? What are some negative habits that exist? Procrastination. Procrastination is a negative habit. Laziness, this is both physical laziness or mental laziness. Poor sleeping habits, right? You may have a negative habit of incurring a lot of debts, right? You may have a negative habit of drifting in life, not having a firm purpose, not having a firm decision as to the direction of your life, right? These negative habits that you harbor in your life also significantly lead to a lot of leakage of energy from your system. So as you can tell, I did a very, very thorough investigation as it pertains to the different ways that people leak energy. And the reason I was able to do a thorough investigation is because I myself participated in these 60 ways of leaking energy. Let's see if I can name some more that will get you thinking, How about this one? Stress and physical tension. Stress and physical tension. Who is not stressed out in today's society? Very few people have mastered how to eliminate stress in a healthy manner. Most people are stressed out physically. There's a lot of tension in their bodies because they're dealing with a lot of emotional stress. Well, that tension uses up a lot of energy. It uses up a lot of energy, right? What about negative self-talk? Do you talk to yourself in a positive manner? Are you affirmative to yourself? Are you inspiring and motivating to yourself? Right? If you're not inspiring and motivating yourself, then there's a very, very good chance that you're talking negatively to yourself. And when you talk negatively to yourself, guess what? You look down. And when you look down, guess what? You actually leak energy. On the flip side, when you talk affirmatively to yourself, when you talk positively to yourself, when you talk inspiring to yourself, then you look up. And when you look up, your energy actually does what? It increases. What about social media? What about social media, right? Just scroll down on Facebook all the time. Just scroll down on Facebook all the time. Just scroll down on Facebook all the time. Or maybe it's Instagram. How much time do you spend on social media? Did you know that the time that you spend on social media significantly drains your energy? Did you know this? Did you know this? Did you know this? Well, now you know. What about unhealed trauma? Unhealed trauma, is there some trauma that you experienced in your childhood that hasn't healed, right? Maybe it was physical trauma, maybe it was mental trauma, maybe it was emotional trauma, right? Maybe it was sexual trauma, right? Any traumas that you haven't healed since your childhood and you're still walking around within your body as a grown-up person are using up a significant amount of energy. They're using up a significant amount of energy. And at this point in time, I'm just pointing them out. I'm not getting deep into them. I'm going to share with you where you can get more information to get deep into these 60 ways. What about how you groom yourself, right? Are you neat? Are you tidy, right? Do you put on nice clothes, right? Do you put on nice clothes? Is your home clean? Is your car clean? Did you know that when you are untidy, when you do not groom yourself properly, you actually eliminate a significant amount of energy? Did you know that? Not a lot of people know that. Not a lot of people know that. And you may say, hey, Pedro, how? Again, like I said, at this point in time, I'm just pointing them out. I'm just pointing them out. Let's see if we got something else here that would be a very, very powerful one. How about this emotional uptightness? Emotional uptightness, right? I live in Canada, and the tendency in Canada and in the US, I'll say in the Western society, people are very, very uptight. People are very, very uptight. People are not open. They do not express themselves in all of their glory, right? And what happens when you're emotionally uptight, you actually end up being physically uptight. And when you're physically uptight, the energy, the prana in your system does not flow. And when the prana in your system does not flow, your energy actually takes a dip, right? On the flip side, when you're open with your energy, when you're always dancing, when you're comfortable in your skin and you're always moving your body, right? When you're moving your body, when you're moving your body, when you're moving your body, when you're moving your what? When you're moving your body, then you're loose, right? You're loose. You're loose. And when you're loose, you don't hold any energy. And as a result, your energy actually goes what? Your energy goes up to the roof, right? Are you holding on to anything in the past? Do you have a victimhood mentality instead of a victorhood mentality, right? Do you have a victimhood mentality? Are you looking at the past? Are you looking at all of the things that went wrong in your past? If you're looking at all the things that went wrong in your past, then you're definitely consuming a lot of energy. You're leaking out energy. On the flip side, if you stay in the present and you have a nice vision for the future as to where you're going, what you want to do, what you want to have, the kind of lifestyle you want to live, the impact you want to create in the world, then you'll notice that your energy is what? Your energy is rising. Your energy is rising. So there's a lot here, man. There's porn addiction. There's masturbation that I talk about. Staying connected on phone, on email. Pessimism, jealousy, envy, chasing, love. What do we got here? Lack of closure in previous relationships. These are 60 ways that you may be leaking out energy. These are 60 ways you may be leaking out energy. And I understand that, hey, you're kind of curious to know deeply how each one of these 60 ways are affecting you. But let's hold on to that for a second. Let's talk about how to actually boost up your energy, right? I discovered 23 ways that you can boost up your energy in a natural way, I'm going to give you some very, very simple examples working with the environment that I'm in right now. Just using the environment that I'm in right now. Before I started recording this video, I was actually just on this platform over here, and I did about 120 push-ups. I did some body squats. I did some dips. I was working out, and I have discovered for myself, right? And you can work out in any way that you want. I've discovered for myself, when I work out consistently, my energy goes up, which is counterintuitive, right? People think that when they work out, they get tired. When I work out, my energy goes up. So myself, I actually work out every single day. That is one natural way to boost up your energy, right? What is another natural way to boost up your energy? Let's see. Today, before I actually came here, I spent 2 hours at home, engaged very, very deeply in a certain type of personal development and growth program, whereby I was receiving a lot of motivation, I was receiving a lot of information, I was receiving a lot of inspiration, and the information that I was digesting was specifically helping me develop a unshakable mindset, right? And as a result, I was feeling optimistic, I was feeling hopeful, I was feeling very positive. I was just so thrilled, and I'm still thrilled for the future that is ahead of me. So I've noticed that when I intake a lot of positive information, well, what happens? I look up, and when I look up, what happens? My energy increases, right? My energy increases. So that's two of them. Right now, I'm speaking to you. Right behind me, there's a bunch of clouds, and the sun is hiding behind the clouds. But in a few minutes, the clouds are going to move aside, and the sun is going to be kissing my face. Well, I have discovered that, especially around this time, this is around 5 p.m., this is around 5:30 p.m., around this time, I can stand in front of the sun for a very, very long time. And when I stand in front of the sun for a very, very long time, I actually intentionally look at the sun, because I can, when it's in the evening, it's not as bright. I look at it or I face it, and I intentionally absorb the life force that is behind the sun, because I know that the sun has got the life force in it concentrated at a very, 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 very high level. And therefore, I absorb the energy, and I make it part of my own energy. So I'm not like most people who just go out and sit in the sun just to like chill, right? Just to chill, right? Yeah, we're sun turning. No, I don't do that, right? I intentionally position myself in front of the sun so I can get some of that energy, right? So these are some ideas. These are some ideas of how you actually increase your energy. Right here is another idea. If you look at the location where I'm in, I told you that I always go paddleboarding for a couple of hours, and I go deep, 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 deep in there. And when I'm deep in there, right, there's nothing but just me and the waves, and the life force is at its highest and its most concentrated form. And when I'm out there with Mother Nature, with infinite intelligence, I'm feeling the energy of the universe pulsating at a high level, and I absorb that energy. And occasionally I will jump into the water. When I'm out jet skiing in the ocean, I will jump into the water and take an ocean dip, right? Take an ocean dip. Pedro, why are you taking an ocean dip? Because in the ocean there is a lot of energy concentrated. The life force is concentrated. I actually absorb it, right? I actually absorb it. I'm sharing with you secrets. I'm sharing with you things that I'm doing in my life, right? I come here occasionally 2 or 3 times a week so I can engage in what I call solitude. I'm away from the city. I'm here by myself. I'm engaging in solitude. And in this moment of solitude, this 2 or 3 hours that I'm here, guess what I'm doing? I am bringing back my forces. I'm harnessing my forces, right? When I'm in the city, I disperse those forces because I'm interacting with a lot of people. And I'm dispersing those forces. But when I'm here, I'm conserving, and I'm gathering, and I'm generating, and I'm growing my forces, right? So this is another way that I use to actually enhance my energy. So I discovered 23 ways that I intentionally boost up my energy to insane levels. And what do you mean by insane levels? I can tell you for a fact, when I wake up, my energy is high. In the middle of the day, my energy is high. In the middle of the afternoon at 4 p.m., my energy is high. At 7, 8 o'clock, 9 p.m., my energy is high. I go to bed when my energy is high, right? And this is my life, 24/7, 24/7, 24/7. And you can actually do the same thing too. You can do the same thing too once you discover some very, very simple ideas which will lead to you not leaking any energy, right? That's number one. And number two, once you discover very, very simple ideas that will lead to you enhancing your mental energy, enhancing your emotional energy, enhancing your spiritual energy, enhancing your physical energy. And at this point in time, you may have a question, Pedro, how can I access this information? And I'll say that that's an amazing question. I created an audio program that is called Energy: How to Stop Leaking It and How to Get More of It. 60 ways you may be leaking energy, and 23 natural and powerful ways you can boost up your energy and vitality. So depending on where you're actually watching this, if you're watching this on YouTube, there's going to be a link below that you can tap on the link, and it's going to send you to my website where you can access that audio program. If you're watching this on Facebook or on Instagram or any other social media platform, just look around for a link that will actually send you to that audio program where you can look at the audio program, where you can watch the short 10-minute introduction on the audio program, where you can read the contents of the audio program and just learn what's inside there, and just see what is possible for you if you actually get the audio program, listen to the audio program, internalize the audio program, and begin to apply them in your life, apply the ideas in your life, and you begin to see the transformations. I wholeheartedly believe that if you discover the 60 ways that you're actually leaking energy, just the discovery of them is going to enhance your level of awareness. And that level of awareness is going to make you make more informed decisions as it pertains to how you're leaking energy. So once you discover the 60 ways that you're leaking energy, number one, your awareness will increase. And when your awareness increases, you're going to decide, hey, you know what? I'm going to try to improve and stop these leakages that are occurring in my system. And on the flip side, you're going to look at the 23 ways that you can boost your energy. You're going to enhance your awareness about the different ways to boost your energy, and you're going to begin to introduce them into your life. So it's interesting, about a few days ago, before I got the audio program ready, I was asking a couple of people that I would meet in this neighborhood. I would just stop them and ask them, hey, what are some of the ways you actually enhance your energy? And no single person was able to tell me 3 ways that they enhance their energy, right? They hadn't even taken time to actually think about this. They hadn't been very intentional about one of the most important areas of their lives. Well, you don't have to think about it anymore. I got the 23 ways that you can enhance your energy, and that is in the audiobook. Now, the beautiful thing about the information that you're going to have access to when you get the audiobook is that this is not only going to enhance the amount of energy that you experience on a day-to-day basis. This is going to really send you on a journey of personal growth and development, whereby you will begin to perfect, you'll begin to master every single area of your life. You're going to begin to master your mindset, right? How you think, the type of thoughts that you hold. You're going to start thinking more positive, empowering thoughts. And you're going to stop thinking negative thoughts, right? The information inside this audio program is going to help you develop what I simply call emotional intelligence, right? When you develop emotional intelligence, you are able to choose the type of emotions that you allow yourself to sit in. You see, the emotions that you experience on a day-to-day basis directly impact the actions that you take in the world. As a result, if you take control of your emotions, then you will actually take control of the actions that you are doing in the external world. And when you take control of the actions that you're doing in the external world, guess what? You actually take control of your destiny. So this program is going to help you develop a bulletproof mindset. It's going to help you develop emotional intelligence. It's going to help you enhance your level of connection with yourself, enhance your level of connection with infinite intelligence, or God, or Allah, or the universe, or Mother Nature, whatever it is that you want to call it. And as a result, this program is specifically going to help you develop yourself in every single area of your life. Yes, it's going to enhance your energy. And as a result of this personal growth and development, you're going to begin to experience a higher level of what? Happiness, health, and success. So if you are the type of person that is devoted, committed, and has a strong desire to really take your life to the next level, then this audio program is for you. If you're the type of person who is a dabbler, then this program is not for you. This program is specifically for doers. This program is specifically for leaders who want to take control of their lives and make a profound impact in their own lives, experience a breakthrough, and go out into the world and make a major difference in the lives of other people. Again, you can access the audio program, Energy, how to stop leaking it and how to get more of it. 60 ways you may be leaking energy, and 23 ways to naturally and powerfully boost your energy, you can access this audio program in the link that's going to be included below, or it's going to be included somewhere up and around here. It's been a pleasure sharing with you some of these ideas. My name is Pedro. I'm looking forward to hearing your story of transformation when you get the audio program, and I'm very, very excited for the transformation that you are about to experience. I'm going to check out and leave you with this amazing view that is here, heaven on earth.